Hey guys, so I am back with another word tonight, and I just wanted to come and, you know, really touch bases on what the Holy Spirit has been unctioning in my spirit. So we're just gonna get right into it, guys. God is making a major move in so many of his children's lives. He's doing the incredible. And again, I want to say, you know, I truly, truly understand. Sometimes it's slow paced. Sometimes it seems like, things are moving very slowly. But you have to realize that every step or every day that you awaken, every day that you are blessed to see a new day, every day that goes on, even if it's not, pleasing to you or what you expect at the moment, everything that God does is in order and is intentional. So even though you don't see the full outcome right now, or even though you're not where you want to be personally in life, you have to realize that even though that is the case, you are still walking in purpose. You are still walking in the right direction to get where it is that the Lord sees you and where he is destined for you to be. Okay, so it's not a day that goes by that is wasted, because God doesn't waste time. Everything is intentional with the Lord. Even his orders, he does things in order and in decency. And the way that the Holy Spirit is what he's doing with his children, his remnant at this time, y'all, is so beautiful. And I always say this because every time I sit back and I ponder on it and just really think about the magnitude of where it's finna go, it's gonna be big. It's going to be big for so many of God's children. So many. He says those that were last will be first. Do you understand? Those that were the tail will now be the head. You're not going to be in last place. You're going to be head. You are the head. You see what I'm saying? He's putting his children in authority position. So you may not feel like it at the moment. You may not look the part of what you think that should look like, or what you should speak like, or whatnot. But every time that you show up, every time, each day, you are going to get better at the craft that God has created you to be, or the craft that the Lord is unctioning you to do. Okay, so the Holy Spirit has been placing in my spirit right now. He has been testing. He's been watching. He has been watching a lot of his children with their finances. He has been watching a lot of his children and their finances. You see, these here taxes that a lot of us have received was the Holy Spirit is watching to see how you maneuver with these taxes in this season. If you are here on this here, the Holy Spirit has given you instruction on something. Could be a business, could be a podcast, whatever it may be. Holy Spirit has spoken to you about something, giving you some instruction, and you didn't have the finances at that time when he first unctioned it to you, when he first spoke those words to you, when he first gave you insight on what it is that he's calling you to do at that time. You did not have the funds. Holy Spirit is saying right now at this time, you have the funds, but he's sitting and watching, and he sees that a lot of people are allowing their flesh, the fleshly desires, to go ahead of what the Holy Spirit is calling you to do. You see, sometime when you're in dry land, and it's been like that for a while, you want to catch up, or feel like you're catching up on the things that you did not have, or the things that your heart desire. But this is the thing. This is not your big portion. This is not your big portion, but the Holy Spirit is intentional with everything that he does. So he is testing you in this area. He is testing you at this time, because like I say, everything that the Lord does is intentional, and he uses everything to work in his good, work in his favor. So he is watching a lot of his children right now to see, how are you spending? Are you sowing? Are you have you hearkened into his voice to start that business, even though it may have not, done what it was supposed to do at that time, or you feel like you can't do it, whatever the case may be? Have you been obedient to what he's telling you to do? Because a lot of you are let me say this. The Holy Spirit knows what your desires are. He knows what your desires are. He knows what it is that your heart yearns for. He knows what you want. He knows the promises he has for you. But there's a time for these things. It's a time for these things. So right now, the Holy Spirit is wanting you to die to that flesh. Yes, it's a new wig you may want. He's asking you to die to that flesh right now. It's a lot of you who are on this walk, and the Holy Spirit has been speaking to you. You can't place that voice in the back and allow the flesh to speak louder and go out and start buying these things, and then before you know it, your finances are dried back up. You didn't sow where you were supposed to sow. You didn't plant that seed where it was supposed to be planted. So now you're back in dry land again. So you have to be intentional with what you're doing right now with your finances, because they're sliding out of your hand. If you're wondering why they're sliding, if you're wondering why they are sliding out of your hand, that the Lord has allowed the enemy to place these desires in your face. You see what I'm saying? Place this here in your face, and it looks like a bon appetit, a 5-star meal, and you want it so bad. You're lusting over, you want it so bad. But this is the thing, the Holy Spirit is wanting you to die to that flesh, to kill that flesh, to know that there's a appointed time for these things. Right now, you are on a straight and narrow. So you got to really focus on, if you want to get out of the position that you're in, if you're tired of it, you need to hearken to what the Lord is doing. He needs you to really plant that seed where he told you to plant it, because he has a destined he's already went the route. He's already taken the route for you. But how else he's speaking to you, and he's trying to get you to follow the route. But if you keep allowing the enemy to drain your pockets, or allowing the enemy to speak louder than what the Lord is speaking, then guess what? You're going to be in the same position, and you're going to wonder why it's always happening. Why is this always happening? Why do I keep going backwards? Why do I feel like I keep going through this? It's because you did not take care of, or you didn't place the funds where it needed to be sold and planted. You see what I'm saying? You didn't place it where it was needed to be planted. Rather to go, you see all this new stuff online, or what people, trendy things. You see what I'm saying? Which is material things. You can't allow that to lose your focus. You can't allow that to cause you to be confused on what the Lord has spoken to you. Okay? Because like I say, money does not money does not last long if you do not plant it where the Lord is telling you to plant it, so that it can grow. You want that seed to grow. So in order for it to grow, plant it where the Lord is telling you to plant it. Okay? Plant it where the Lord is telling you to plant it. Sow where he's telling you to sow. You see what I'm saying? So that it can prosper. Don't compare yourself to anybody and anybody's journey. Stay on the straight and narrow in your journey. Stay focused on what the Lord is doing in your journey, because it's easily to get distracted. It's tons of distraction that is going on. Allow the funds that the Lord has blessed you with to work for you, Okay? Allow that amount that the Lord has blessed you with to work. Invest in yourself. Invest in what the Lord is telling you to do, rather than going and buy the things that serves you no purpose, or just materialistic stuff. Sow where the Holy Spirit is telling you to sow, that way that you can see it prosper and it start to bloom. Okay, so I just wanted to leave this message with you all, because the Holy Spirit has really been speaking to me about that as well. So I just wanted to come and give you all this here message.